right, so we have here the 2024 Jeep Wagoneer Series 2. The price tag on this car is roughly $71,000. I'm going to go over everything you get for $71,000. I've been driving this car for roughly around 3 days, and I'm just going to go over my experiences, everything I like about the car. Let's start with the key fob. So with the key fob, you have your unlock lock, you have your remote start, you have the tailgate trunk is automatic, you have your running boards, you have your mirrors with the blind spot, but then you also have the digital blind spot monitoring in there. You come around front, you have your LED daytime running lights with the LED headlights, LED fogs. You have your parking sensors with the motion sensor in front. We'll come around this side, and inside you have on the passenger side, I actually do like this color. It's like a grayish. Can't really put my finger on it. It's like a gray, like a very light gray. Passenger seat has full electronic seats with lumbar support, and then it has the Alpine stereo. I gotta say, the Alpine stereo knocks on this car. One of the better systems. I have a Acura TLX, and the system is ELS Studio, and I gotta say, this system beats it. Alpine really outdid themselves on this unit. And look at this thing is so fresh. Let's peel off the sticker. So you have rear climate control. You have two USB-Cs, two USBs. You have your regular power outlet and your 12 volt with two cup holders. With captain seats, these are the back seats. It looks like in the back seats you also have the USB-C and USB on each side of the car. Then you have these little storage compartments. I gotta say, it is I am about 6 foot tall, and this is a very, very spacious, very roomy. And let's come around to the trunk. So we'll come around to the trunk. You have your Wagoneer badging, backup camera. This one does not have a 360 camera. This model for $71,000, all you're getting is a backup camera. Also the seats when I was playing around on the controls on the inside, it says you could drop the seats from the main dash on the inside, but then when you come to the trunk, I know the Escalade has power switches on them. This doesn't have any power switches. You have to automatically pull this tab here to drop the seat, to make it a full-size trunk. And when you're done, you pull this lever up to go back. Automatic liftgate, you just click and hold the button. Has lights on the top of the liftgate to give nice and bright viewing at night, which I gotta say is a nice touch. You have your trailer hitch stowed away in here. And then let's come around to the driver's side. So for the driver's side, we have memory seats. We have automatic headlights, fog lights. You have your adjustable brake pedal, digital emergency brake, digital steering wheel adjuster. You have your digital gauge cluster. For me personally, I like the old school analog clusters, but this gauge cluster is nice. You could switch it around, change something you want. You could listen to your YouTube, not listen to it, but you could see what you're playing on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Music. I've been pretty much abusing this car just to really feel it out. I gotta say, this has 400 horsepower, 386 horsepower, I believe. I gotta say, this car moves. However, I did drive this car all over. We'll get into that later of where I drove it to get to this point where I'm still over half a tank of gas. We'll get into that a little bit later. Gas mileage on this car for the size of this truck is truly amazing. All right, let's go over the steering wheel. So I like this flat steering wheel. I've never had such a flat bottom steering wheel, but this flat bottom is just really comfortable to drive. But I gotta say, most comfortable steering wheel. And even in my Acura, I have a flat bottom steering wheel. You could answer the phone, hang up the phone. You could change songs going left and right, but then you also have your traditional buttons on the back of the steering wheel on each side, one for the volume, one for the changing the song. You have your push start stop. Then you have your gauge cluster here to go in snow, mud, auto, sport. There's no shift knob, it's just a turn knob to go into park, drive, etc. You have your wireless car charger down here. You have your USB ports here, USB-C, another 12 volt port there. Then you have your nice screen set up here, heated steering wheel, air conditioned ventilated seats, heated seats. This car has fully wireless CarPlay. It has the lane assist. It has tow haul. It has a lot of features. Then you could close this out, give it some privacy if you have anything in there that you don't want to see. You have one thing I don't like is this button here. You have your gauge here, which says you could adjust it up and down, but when you click it, it only goes down. It doesn't go up. So I don't know if this is a defect on the car, and then it goes off. And then you could just click on the screen though, which is fully digital. You have your vehicle switches, which is, okay, so here we go. I guess this flips down the seat. You could click it and then it will fold. Let's see if it works. No, that's just the headrest. That doesn't make, that's kind of stupid. So it doesn't fold. You have your dimmable mirrors. You have your rear view camera. Your comfort mode. You could select all your comfort in the car, all the air. You have your apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I really didn't scroll through it that much. Their system is pretty good. It runs fast. I didn't really, when I first got the car, the Apple CarPlay was really giving me a hard time connecting, but once I connected it, ever since I connected it, it's been pretty smooth. You come in, as soon as you start the car, the Apple CarPlay is connected within 5 seconds. All right, let's go up here. So up here you have your sunglass holder. You have your SOS assistant. You have your lights, trunk button here. It looks like there's some garage panels here, so you could set your garage. For I gotta say, for a big car like this, that's a tiny mirror. You got plenty of storage space in the glove box. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I went over everything on the car. I'm not too sure if I missed anything. Me personally, for a family car, I've always been into sporty cars, but one day if I have a big family, I would get this car if it wasn't for a lot of bad publicity it got. A lot of people said that this car has a lot of issues, that if there's something wrong with the engine components underneath, they have to pull the whole chassis off the frame. I saw. Unfortunately for Jeep, the big warranty you get is $36,000 or 3 years, which everyone knows that's really not a lot if you're buying a brand new car. I mean, unless you get this certified pre-owned. If you can get this car certified pre-owned, 5 years, 100,000 mile warranty, 100% worth it. Otherwise, I would not recommend buying this car or any type of domestic car without any type of warranty. Example, I have a 2022 Chrysler Voyager. This car is 2 years old, 33,000 miles. I know I'm getting off topic, but the compression in the cylinder went bad. Guess what? 30,000 miles, 2.5 years old. It needs an engine replacement. Now, let's say if this happened on my 3rd year, after my 36,000 miles, that's it. I'm out. You know, it's unfortunate. Anyways, let's get into the gas mileage on this car. Gas miles. It says I get 14.3 miles per gallon. Now, let me give you an idea if you live in New York. I drive this car to work in Long Island in Nassau County. I live in Queens. I picked up this car on Monday, filled up the tank, drove it home back to Queens Monday night, drove it to Westbury, drove it back home, back to Queens from Westbury in the morning, drove it back to work. Then I drove it from Nassau County into Manhattan, drove it throughout Manhattan. I was there, did 2 stops in Manhattan, went back to Nassau, back to work. Then I drove back to Queens, and then back to work to Lawrence. I drove this car. I mean, now I'm back in Queens right now. I did a ton of driving. And as you can see, I am over a half a tank. I'm right in that sweet spot between a half and 3/4 of a tank. So I gotta say, for that amount of driving, if you're a New York driver, that is impressive. There's no way that's 14 miles per gallon. That there's just no way. But I'm gonna try to do more of these videos. I'm gonna try to do more brand new car reviews. If you liked what you've seen, please like and subscribe to my channel. All right, guys, see you in the next one.